Good morning, beautiful Gogglefroggers, and how are you today? Hopefully you've had an amazing weekend and are ready for your Monday morning fill of Gogglefrogs. And so happy. Robert's with us as well today. How are you, Robert?
Hello. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, good. And we can see he's having a nice pint of Ribena. So, yeah, I've got Vimto
already.
Do you know what? I've got Vimto. He's got Ribena. I was thinking earlier when I was doing a hot cordial, and I thought when I was young at home as a child, Ribena was so expensive. So you had quash, Chiori, it had everything, and certain households had Ribena, but it was very expensive. It was a lot more expensive than normal, and we never had Ribena. Because they never had special offers either when we were little, did they? It was just sort of set prices. So yeah, interesting that you're on your Ribena. So hopefully you've got a nice cuppa. I've got a hot drink, a hot cordial, and I've got half a cup of tea left as well that's almost cold. And I hope you've got something nice to drink, and you've got your knitting. I'm actually frogging. I've realised I've gone wrong 2 rows away, so I'm going to spend the time frogging while we're talking. So good morning. This is your first time with us. I'm Andrew, and this is the lovely Robert. And we will talk about all sorts this morning. Yep. We have no idea what we're going to talk about, but it will be related to knitting in some description. So we've got a chat box on the right hand side, and please do chat away in that. You can see us, but we can't see you. So don't worry if you don't have your makeup on, your PJs on, or if you're fancying a morning in the all together. It's absolutely fine. And you will be sent a replay. So hello to everyone watching us on replay. I know that a lot of people are back in the normal world and watch us on replay. And hello if you're watching us on YouTube. There will be a replay and you won't be able to see the chat box, which is why we read it out. And later in the show, we're going to share what's in a Facebook group and see if anybody's finished anything or posted anything in there. So that's it so far today. Oh, look, I've just seen one of my beautiful little stitch markers.
Yay.
It's like a bunch of grapes, and soon I'll be getting to the little black cat one. I showed this on the last show, but yeah, a little black cat one. So yes, so I think I've covered everything. Have I, Robert?
I think so.
Yeah. So how was your weekend? Let us know what your weekend was like and what you did at the weekend as well, because our last show was on Saturday. So can't wait to hear what you've been up to. Or did you just have a really quiet weekend? So I think it's sort of mixed, isn't it, at the moment? Sometimes we're doing lots and lots and lots of things, and sometimes we're just enjoying life at home. So yeah, so anyway, just to let you know, Tricia says morning folks, Judy says morning all, and Amber says good morning everyone from Princess Curtain Crusher and her. So let's do some good mornings, shall we? So small but perfectly formed, and we know that people will be joining us throughout the show, don't worry. So good morning Tricia, and good morning Marion.
Hello.
Good morning Judy.
Hello.
Good morning Brigitte.
Hello. And
good morning Amber. Lovely to see you. Yeah, this might not be the best thing to do because I am on 3.75 millimeters. This is a pattern where I'm actually putting in the cat's paws. So, you know, the little hole, like if you draw cat's paws, you do like 5 circles, don't you? Well, if you can imagine on this, it's like 5 holes to make a cat's paw. So that's what I'm doing. And I know I've got to go back 2 rows, so I'll do it while we're chatting. I did finish a little project yesterday, which was very good to get that off the needles. Yes, so Auntie Doe's
work-based scarf
is finished. Yes.
Really?
And I have to say, just personally, after I bought it, it just didn't inspire me. It just didn't inspire me. So that's why it's gone. So it's now finished, but I know the colours are Antidote's colours, so that's perfect. The fact that it's going to go to a lovely home. But as with lots of times when we walk into a shop and we think, I love those colours, sometimes it's either the long repeat or the short repeat in the yarn that we don't actually enjoy. So anyway, it's all done now and it's ready to be gifted to Antidote from all us Gogglefroggers. And I must find myself another little project to do, an easy project for when we're on Gogglefrogs, mustn't I? Yeah, it's having those little go-to patterns, and I've because I'm getting really excited. We had a post the other day, didn't we, saying that we're going into autumn, and I absolutely love autumn. I really do. So this morning I nearly went running into the office where all my stash is, to grab hold of some nice chunky knitting, but I haven't done yet. And I do actually have something that I'm going to redo. So I think that might be the first project, but it is done on something like 10 or 12 mil needles, I believe. So that's going to be really, really quick to do. The wool is almost like a cable cord. Lovely, lovely colours. I've had it years. I made it as a cardigan, hated it as a cardigan. I don't like it if it does. You know me, I say just embrace things that don't match. Well, I made this cardigan and put in a zip, and this zip just looked awful. And now I realise that people spend hours and hours and hours putting in a zip. So I didn't like the zip. I didn't like the colour combination at the front. So that's got to be frogged and made into a jumper. But because it's on such big needles, I think that'll be a quick knit. Other than the fact that I've got to create the pattern in my head, because I know I created the pattern in my head as a cardigan. So I'll have to do it again as a jumper, but it'll be fine. And I've got a big cape type thing on the top that'll be lovely, but I may just need to undo the ends and make it a little bit longer. And it's a big cable cuff thing around here, so I'll just have to see. It'll be fine, I'll make it work, but that's another little project that needs to get reworked. I get so much value out of all of my yarn. I really do. And on the value of yarn, I've still got this sitting at the side of me, and I've got no idea what I'm going to do with it. So I started to do I got a crochet hook out and started crocheting, and I just thought, but I think it would be nice crocheted. I really do. But I do have, it's not Norro, but I do have a lovely Norro blanket pattern that Georgie gave me a couple of years ago. So I might even have a look at that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, what's that one? That is jewel spun, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll see what I'm going to do with it, but I've got so much in my stash that'll be really nice to do. Yeah, and Anne says, morning everyone, just popped in to say sorry can't be with you today as dental appointment, catch up later. Exciting, Anne. That is well, let's just hope that you haven't got an emergency, but if you're managing to get dental appointments, wow. I think there's such a backlog of dental checkups due that I probably won't get an appointment for about 2 years. So, because nobody's been able to go to the dentist, have they, for 18 months? Not for checkups. So we'll see. So anyway, good luck at the dentist. I hope it's nothing too bad. Linda says, morning all. And Brigitte says, anyone else getting fed up with the autumnal weather when it should be summer? I know I am. I had to wear a thick jacket this morning when I wanted the tomatoes, 13 degrees centigrade. I think this is like old school English weather, isn't it? Because I always remember when I was little, August was never such a great weather time. lots and lots of holidays when you went away, in a caravan or in a tent where you were huddled around, weren't you, trying to keep warm, queuing up at the shower block and trying to get warm at night. But as children, you didn't really notice it. But there were lots of times when I know the parents really had to put on a brave face for the weather. So I think we've got that at the moment. But what always happens is we have this beautiful September. So let's just hope that all the weather comes back in September for us. And it was always nice whenever it's my birthday in October. I always have good weather for my birthday as well. So, but not summer weather, if you know what I mean. So I think Brigitta's getting very fed up with the autumnal weather, and I'm getting really excited about the autumnal weather. So here we are. Right, okay. I think when I've actually frogged this row, I'll just need to find my place in the pattern. Do you know what I did? I actually started on this. I've told you, this is quite a complicated pattern because it's supposed to be steeped, and the wool would not work for being steeped. So I'm having to recreate it in the rounds, and I didn't even put a mark as to where I got to what row. So I'm going to have to work that out as well, what row I was on. So never mind. It'll get my brain going to do, which is good. And just think, why did I do that? Oh, and talk about steeking. I tell you what, this wool that I finished, it's a Peruvian something or other, I don't know. That one. That would be perfect for steeking, because as I got to the end of the ball, using the ball up, I'm not joking, I was having to prise it apart. It already clumped together. So that's one of those that shouldn't go in the washing machine at all. But yeah, so that is done, thankfully. So how was your weekend, Robert?
It was really nice, thank you. I spent the day with my friend on Saturday.
Because we saw a little bit of you, didn't we, on your way down there?
Yeah, and had a very long overdue catch up. And then yesterday, that was it. I did some work stuff because I was running behind, so I'm trying to get ahead of myself for finishing on Friday. And then we went to cinema last night to watch a film called Free Man, and it was really good, really funny.
Oh.
So
I've never heard. Does anyone else go to the cinema? Because I know that Robert and Gary love the cinema, don't you?
We do.
Yeah. Actually, on saying that, I found a post on my Facebook memories this morning from when I went to, not the Rex in Berkhamsted, the one in St Albans. I don't know the name of that one. Is it the Odyssey?
Don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know what we went to see, but you don't really go there to see modern films. You go there to see old stuff or stuff with subtitles that I really, really enjoy. And nobody else does. So yeah, I can only go there once every few years. I'll go on my own, which I do sometimes as well. So shall we have a little bit of music, do you think?
Yes, let's.
Right.
So today's music is completely random and inspired by, you get these national days. Well, today is National Aeromobile Day. So this is just for fun, really. Here we go.
The film, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I do remember the tune from when I was younger. To be honest, I've just had a little thought. When something, we talk about breaking a dream, but breaking your memory, I suppose. I'm sure that I did a dance at dancing school to that.
Oh.
When you just think, I have this little recollection of doing some little steps and my arms having to go in certain directions. So it must have been something to do with dancing. But yes, thank you so much for that. So does anyone else remember that as well? Thinking, so I hope you really, really enjoyed that. That was brilliant.
Brigitte says one of the daftest but very funny films.
Is it? I can't remember, so I might have to watch it at some point. Yeah. And who was that? The man, was he in a few Carry On Doctors or Carry On films or something? It wasn't Lance Percival, but it's somebody else. So was it somebody who's out of the film? I think it was. And I can't remember his name. I really can't. Sorry, frogging is not the easiest thing to do when you're trying to talk, is it?
Those Magnificent Men and the Flying Machines was a 1965 film. Cast. Stuart Whitman, Sarah Miles, James Fox, Alberta Sordi, Robert Morley. There's not any. Oh, Benny Hill was in it.
Really?
Sam Wanamaker, so Zoe Wanamaker's dad. Tony Hancock. Fred Emney. Millicent Martin. There's not any other names on there that I really recognise.
Have a look. Right, so the person I'm thinking of is right, okay. Where's it say cast, and then I'll tell you who it was. I probably didn't know the person's name. Terry, was it Terry Thomas? I think it must have been Terry Thomas, the person I was talking about.
Yes, Brigitte says Terry Thomas, Gerd Frobe. She says I remember them all.
Oh yes, yes. So Benny Hill was rather an eclectic character as well, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah. How bizarre. Just I never quite got the Benny Hill show, but it was just so big when I was young. But never mind. We'll move on.
How's Mum?
Yeah, she's fine. She's just in the other room, so she just got up. I got up earlier. Splodge was running around and is now settled in front of the fire for the rest of the day, which is good. But yeah, Splodge has been very active this morning, scrabbling down the back of the settee with her arms. I don't know what she's been looking for, but never mind. Yeah, and all settled now. And I'm just getting this done. And then I'll show you the finished work day. No, not work day, the finished knit night. So, yeah, knit night, it's my go-to. I'm going to start another one with some of the yarn that I got from, the blue yarn that I said, oh, it feels a bit scratchy. But I'm going to do it in that for my mum because it's her favourite colour. And I just thought a nice scarf would be lovely. Or maybe I might look for a simple shawl pattern out of it. I just don't think I'd have enough wool to do it in the shawl that you normally do, Robert.
Right.
So I'll. Do you know what? When you get to the last few stitches, it's always the last few, isn't it? They say that most car accidents are within a mile of your home. And most mistakes in knitting are towards the end of a complicated row when you think you know it. And like we say, when you're frogging, not remembering to turn stitches, etc., can be an absolute nightmare. So here we go. We're almost there. We've got 3 stitches left and then I'm finished. And I can start again. Do you know what? The one thing that is missing on this pattern that I've got is it would be really, and this is how you think, because we all do patterns really, when we write them down, we do them really simply. But it's such a complicated pattern with so many increases and decreases. it would be nice if you knew how many blinking stitches you were supposed to have. But you don't. So never mind. Right, there we go. So here's my finished knit night. And I did have to play yarn chicken, and I did have 1.8 grams of yarn left at the end of it. And I kept thinking, it's really weird. Parts of this yarn look like a proper DK, and parts of this yarn look like, well, less than a 4-ply. And I think it's just how it's been worked. And I had 20.5 grams left, and I'm not joking, it was so tight. It really, really was. So this is the scarf finished. So yeah, it's just not my colours at all. So, but it's all done, lovely, and I know it's going to a good home, which is brilliant, but it's not a yarn that I really, really enjoyed. It feels lovely. I think it's alpaca or something like that, Peruvian alpaca. So it is lovely, but it just wasn't me. So that's that. So finished with, was it 1.5 or 1.8 grams of yarn left? I just always love how the finish of this is. I think it's lovely, absolutely gorgeous. I really do love the shawl. It's just the colours that aren't me. So that's that done. So all ready to gift. And I think that is one that was quite a tight yarn chicken. And I had 5.5 grams left to do the Pico bind off, and I can't believe how much it took. So yeah. That was like, I mean, it didn't matter. I'd have just gone into the and finished it off in another pink. But then you always think, well, I wish I'd started a different ball to do the whole of the Pico border in a pink, because then you've got to like frog it. So thankfully I had 1.5 grams left, which was a little bit tight as far as I was concerned. Very tight. So yeah.
So Marion's joined us. Good morning, Marion. She's having technical issues by the looks of it.
Oh.
And then Brigitte says she's losing connection quite a bit as well. So I wonder if there's a glitch today that's causing a problem.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
We will carry on going.
Yes. Yes, we will do. There we go. Right, so we've got that done. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. So I looked at it, you know, when you forget how you've done the pattern, and I thought, oh, that's curling quite a lot. But isn't this just the most beautiful neck edge? What you do is you actually turn it in and sew it in. So you end up with that tiny, tiny little fleck of colour. So you've got a beautiful navy and then this jadey green, which is like that, but then you just turn it in. So that's beautiful. I'm loving that little edge. So subtle, and it's a lot of work, but it will be beautiful, and it will also give structure as well.
So when you turn it in, what colour are you going to sew it in with?
Well, you sew it in on the inside, so you just sew it in with a normal cotton.
Right.
So I hadn't even thought of that. I'll probably do a navy because I can sew it sort of underneath. But yeah, so that's lovely. And then you have this little hole there, and then you go on to the cat's paws, which are, well, these are the little holes in the cat's paws. So whether they look like a proper cat's paw to me or not in the end, we will see. To be honest, I've looked at them and I'm like, are they really cat's paw-ish? But It is what it is. I think that to be honest, like the middle of the cat's paw should be twice as big, but I'm just following the pattern because I can't even think about how to do a double size hole, yarn over hole. It's just that is too much to try and factor into this whole thing, because remember I am having to recalculate the pattern every row, every other row in my head. So I'm just looking as we go, but I think it's going to be nice. Yeah, I think it's going to be lovely. Certainly looks it. Oh, do you know what? Oh my word, no.
What?
I've just seen that I've dropped a stitch quite a few rows back. It's all right.
Oh.
It's fine. I'm not doing anything about it. It's right at the end of the row.
Can you hook it up?
Huh?
Can you crochet hook it up?
No, I would have to crochet hook it down. It's top down, and I'd have to do that through a cat's paw.
Oh.
So I've just found it there. To be honest, you know, when you just get to the point, and you just think, should I just put in a safety line and take the whole blinking lot back to that? Might be a little bit easier, but let me just put a little stitch in there. Do you know what? This is why I hate. I don't know what it is with circular needles. When I'm on straight needles, I don't drop stitches, but I do with blooming circulars. I hate them. That's me. Never mind. It's going to be beautiful. No, I'm not going to go back for that one. Although, let's have a look. They do look like double the size at that side. Oh, actually, they do all look double the size. They are actually a lot bigger when you pull the thing out. So they've already worked that into the pattern, so don't worry.
Oh, good.
I'm quite happy with that now. Yes. Yeah, that's really good. So that's lovely. Yeah, the other thing as well, I don't know if I've got enough yarn, but I've got so many other yarns that are like this, I can just make it fit, if you know what I mean. So there's no issue with that. Right, so at the end of this whole thing, all right, I should have had 174 stitches. It says and 5 stick stitches, and I can't remember if I'd included 5 extra stick stitches or not. So who knows what's happening with my pattern at the moment. Do you know what? I think I might be as well just going back to restart it again. Because this is an absolute nightmare, isn't it? When you start recreating stuff and you put it down for 2 months, then you just think, where did I actually finish off?
Yeah.
And I know people don't like the fact that I write in books, but this is one pattern that I seriously need to write on. So, but so I'm back on this one, and this is probably not the pattern, is it, to do on here? But this is the book. I'm sure you all remember this cat knits book, and this is the one that I'm doing. So that's the cardigan, but I'm doing it in navy and jade green. So it'll be lovely, absolutely lovely in the end. Yes. And are you still doing your blanket?
I am.
How's it going?
Slowly, because I haven't done any for ages. So I did do some yesterday because it was National Granny Square Day.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, I haven't done any for ages. And every time I walk into my room, on my sewing box are the other 4 balls. And I keep thinking, I really should get a move on. I really, really should get a move on with it. But it's fine. I mean, we won't use it till the cats aren't with us anymore anyway, because they'll just rip it to pieces. But love the colours in it. So it'll it will look really nice when it's finished.
They are such unusual colours, aren't they, to put together? And
Yeah.
if you went and picked a few different colours together, you wouldn't put those greys, those purples, those oranges.
No.
Because what other colours are in it?
Well, the orange goes from a bright orange to a rusty browny orange.
Mm.
The purple is lilac to a really intense purple, and then there's greys and blacks and creams in between most of the colours where they blend it together.
Ooh.
So yeah, it should look very nice.
Mm. Fabulous.
And I when I first started it, I didn't like the fact that it wasn't flat or straight. But now I'm getting my head around it, and I actually think that's going to add to the effect of the blanket.
Is that because of the gradient in the
In
wool?
the wool, yeah.
Yeah. It is one of those. It always goes thick, thin, doesn't it? Narrow wool, which is beautiful. But yeah, it doesn't lie flat like normal. So I hope now that people have got sound and picture. I really hope so.
Well, Marianne hasn't. Oh no, somebody's dropped out. Who dropped out? Marianne dropped out. Okay, maybe she's rebooting.
Oh dear. Not too sure what's happened, but hopefully you'll be back. Yeah, so I am thinking, should I just go back to the beginning? I'll try and have a look, and I'll try and sort it out and see where I am. But I do want the little paw prints to be as perfect as I can get them, don't I? So whereabouts am I in this? So I've gone through. I've done one paw. So do you know what? I think that if I take back 2 more rows, then I'll be at the end. Yeah, I'm going to go back 2 more rows. So I can start that now as we're chatting, can't I? Which should work really, really well. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm working on blooming zings as well. You know what I'm like with circulars.
I do, yes.
Yak, 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 yak. I really need to order myself a pair of chow goos. I'll have to see what mill I'm working on. Do I just use one? 3 mil. Are these 3 mil? And if they are, I think I've got to order a pair of yeah, these are 3 mil. And it says they're talking about 3 different blooming sizes there, so I'll leave it until another day when I can actually read it. I'm just going to start frogging at the moment. Well, yeah, I'll take it back 2 rows and I should be okay. And if it gets too complicated to try and take them back, then I will take it back to the beginning of the other bit. Hopefully I'll be okay. Yeah. Oh, maybe maybe I have to leave this for after. Let's just see if I've got a weird type of yarn over in here. I hope I haven't. Have I got? No, that's a normal yarn over. Right, okay. Can work with that. What?
What are you up to today?
Not very much at all. I've got some internety stuff to do, and I've got this to do, and then I've got to go out because we haven't got enough milk. This is what happens after the milkman retired. I hate the fact that I have to go out and get milk. It's my pet hate. And I also hate the fact that I've got to buy it in plastic cartons rather than glass. And I know that I can go to the milk place and go up to the farm where I just put my money in, put a bottle underneath it, but that's full fat, and Alan refuses to have full fat in his tea. So yeah. So
have you not fixed your milkman yet?
no, we didn't in the end.
Do Eggington Dairy not come out as far as you?
No, because we're Buckinghamshire and not Bedfordshire.
Okay.
It's just a bit of a so we were going to, and then Alan started to complain about the size of the cost of them anyway.
Oh.
It's this whole conversation. Like I there is a massive difference in taste, even in tea. But he's like, you know, you can get 4 pints for £1 something, whereas when it's delivered, it's about 80 odd pence for 1 pint.
Yeah.
So never mind. We've never reset it back up. Yeah, it's just such a shame. But hey, that's what happens, isn't it? And I think quite a lot of people in the area had stopped getting it from him. So he chose to get rid of us out of his round. Well, me and my neighbours, but loads of people from the little hamlet that we live in had stopped getting milk from the milkman. Oh God, you know what? I'm going to have to get a different one. What is it about? Doesn't happen with chow goose, but whenever you use circular needles, when you try and slide stuff back up the needle, it gets stuck on a little bit. And we were talking about 2 different brands where you get this. And I find it happens with the symphonies, and it also happens with zings as well. So I think I'm desperately going to have to buy some chow goose, because this does not feel nice. It's not going right over the needles, I'm afraid. Right. Where are we getting to? Oh, this is a long bit of frogging, isn't it? Oh, and Brigitte says she's had a milkman since 1970, would totally hate it not to have milk delivered. Wow. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. It's just setting up another one. And Robert has been really nice, and he's given me 2 numbers, Milk and More and somebody else. I think it's just that we're in sort of in the bit of the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I'll get one eventually. I think once it gets to later in the year, it's one thing at summer, but when it gets to winter, the fact that it might snow and the milkman always gets to deliver your stuff for you is just brilliant. So we'll start a milkman again. So good on you, Brigitte, for having a milkman. And Amber, are you still with us? Do you have milkmen in America? Like where we are? Well, when I was young, everyone had a milkman. That's how you got your milk. And they come around in early morning and leave the milk in the front of your house for you. So I don't know if that happens in America. So let us know if you still have milkmen out there, or if you've ever had them. I don't know. Weird sort of thing, because I don't think every country does. And certainly in Europe, the milk in Europe is not like our milk at all. It's all UHT style milk. So I think we're a little bit unique that we have this milk that's delivered in a glass bottle. In the olden days, it used to have cream on top. Now it doesn't, although I do go to it's like it's on a farm, and it's a big contraption, a machine, and you go there and put your bottle in, and it gives you proper full cream milk with the cream on top as well, and that's absolutely amazing on cornflakes. So yeah, I do go there sometimes. So does anyone else go to those? They're like pop up. No, they're not pop up, are they? They're permanent, but it's so that they can the farmers, the milk farmers, can get a good price for their milk. It's amazing, really good. Brigade says they do have normal milk in the supermarkets in Germany. Fabulous, because they don't in Belgium. And you know me, the place I go to the most is Belgium, and Italy's the same as well. When I used to go to Italy, I always found it strange that they had this strange UHT stuff. So that's good that Germany has normal milk as well. Perfect. Should have known actually, because we had normal milk. Now when I think about it, whenever we've been to Germany, we have normal milk on our cereals and stuff, and in tea. There we go. This is getting a bit complicated now. Right, shall I go? I'm going to go onto Facebook.
Okay. I was just about to suggest it. I don't think there's an awful lot on there, though.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Let me just... Right, okay. I don't think there is a right there, but let's have a quick look. Share my screen. There we go. So we saw that the other day from Georgie. And then that was, yeah, plain yarn chicken had 1.8 grams of yarn left, which I've shown you. This was from Linda. Happy Granny Square Day. This is a lovely bag. Really, really like that. And actually so simple in the design as well, isn't it? So I love that. And I'm just trying to see how she's actually joined it. So that's lovely. Absolutely amazing. So thank you. And if you know where the pattern is, if it's a free one, let us know. And if it's a paid one as well, let us know. And people will happily pay for that. Although I think most people could guess that one. Deborah put the other day distinct feel of autumn, and that was for the headbands. And we saw that the other day. So I think you put that in, didn't you? Happy Granny Square Day.
Yeah.
This was really quite nice. I'm really liking that.
I thought you might.
Yeah, thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Is it knitted in the middle?
No, it's crochet.
I thought it was crochet. I just wondered how they did the eyes.
They're see-through. It's grey carpet underneath.
Oh, thank you. That's why I was like, how did they do that? We saw that from Dawn the other day. We saw the photo frame, so I think I caught it. All right, there we go. And then I'll continue with my frogging. Here we go. Wow. So you're seeing both of us looking down today, aren't you? Because normally when I'm knitting, I've got a simple project so I can look straight at the camera. But when you're frogging, you can't really, can you? So it's just one of those days. It's really quite relaxing.
Marion says she likes unpasteurized cheese.
Yeah.
And Amber says in the States, most people get milk from the supermarket.
Yeah. So do you have milkmen at all in America?
And Brigitte says we had normal milk in the hotels in France, Belgium, and Holland as well.
Really? Actually, do you know what? When I I'll double check again next time I go. Maybe it's me not reading the stuff properly, but not if it don't come in a glass bottle. I don't think it's normal milk. Here we go. Oh, this little thing that keeps catching all my work is absolutely horrid. So sorry, folks, but I really do dislike it when it catches. You know, as you're pulling your work back, and it's doing every time I'm pushing.
Oh dear.
I know, and it happens so often with them, doesn't it? When you get normally it's when you've got interchangeables and they're not locking properly, but this is a fixed one. But I have damaged a pair of things before, and they did like when I was, well, they broke. There we go. How's that looking? See, that looks fabulous, doesn't it? For a cat's paw, that is lovely. You can really see that it is a proper cat's paw. And I should have 3 of them, and it wasn't centering exactly as I wanted it to center. But it is because it gets slightly larger. What on earth is happening with that one there? Oh no, it's fine. So we will see what happens with this. It'd be nice to start this again and get down to the arms soon. And I know I said I didn't want to do anything that wasn't with the you know, the structured sleeves, raglan sleeves, but top down I don't mind because they just flow, and I think this will be pretty enough. It'll be a nice little pretty cardigan, won't it? So let's have a look. Oops, let me have a quick look. Somebody's just said something. And Amber says, I think a few people may buy milk directly from the farmer, but I don't think we have milkmen anymore. Oh, that's a stray. That's a bit of a shame. So talking about milk as well, Brigitte says the normal ones are in the cardboard cartons and the cartons go into the recycling. Thank you very much. Yeah, it just amazes me that when we were little, we used to buy everything in glass bottles, and the glass bottles just went back, didn't they? And they were washed properly, and then they were refilled. And now, when you've got something in glass, it's got to be crushed to smithereens and then remade into a glass bottle. So hopefully we will see sense at some point when they will give us 2p for taking or 5p for taking a bottle back, which is what used to happen. So you used to look after them. Yeah, but it just amazes me how we've gone sort of a little bit bonkers by recycling everything, by putting it back to you know, we should just wash a lot of bottles, shouldn't we, rather than smashing them to smithereens. Right, here we go. Get off your soapbox, Angela. Oh dear. So yeah, Brigitte, I've realised that when we go to our hotel that we go to in Bruges, we always get normal milk there as well. So it's just me who doesn't know which one to pick up in the supermarket. Not that I do pick up stuff in the supermarket very often. So I tend to stay in a hotel over there. Right, here we go. And I know once I did actually take extra milk with me from the milkman and go all the way across, well, into France and then turn left up to Belgium just to have proper homemade milk, if you know what I mean. And they actually sell it over there. How stupid was I? Oh dear. Right. I'll tell you something. This it's Adrifil Chiop. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely yarn. It's mercerized cotton, Egyptian cotton, but it is so nice to knit with. Really, really lovely. So yeah, and I think when I'm at the end of this row, I'll be able to start the second. What I'm going to do is try and work out how to put in the second paw print. So I'll add up all my stitches, see how many I've got, see how many I need to add at the beginning and the end, and just make it work. And then once I've done the 3 sets of paw prints, then it's quite straightforward. She says.
I managed to do a whole round.
Way! That's really good. Are you going to do some more crochet today, Robert?
Possibly.
Yeah? Are you going to have a sleep?
Oh, I will do later.
Good. What's happened here? Right, let me just try and take this off. Come on. You know, it's gone funny from the row before. So let me do this. So straight after this, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go straight on to sort out all of the paw prints. And then next time you see me, I should have 3 paw prints on this cardigan. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my contact lenses out, because with contact lenses, you end up having one, what I've got is one long-sighted and one short-sighted contact lens. So it's quite hard doing close-up work. I couldn't get on with the varifocals. So the varifocals are in my glasses. That's what I need for work like this. So
Amber's going. Amber, have a lovely week, and we'll see you on Saturday. Brigitte says, I remember my Mootie going to the farmer's cart who came through our road with a big jug filled with fresh milk. He had to stop when his horse died, so then we went to the shop.
Oh, bless.
Brigitte says, got a hair appointment in an hour, trying to get laundry done as well, as Rod isn't sewing today. Thank you for this morning.
Great.
You are welcome.
Enjoy your appointments today. That's lovely. I'm at the hairdresser's on Thursday. So I had to cancel it the week before last. So it's actually gone for longer than I would have liked. But yeah, that's good. Right, which way around am I frogging? This way round again. Right, I'll frog this side. And then hopefully I'm not going to have to take the whole blinking lot back, but we'll see. Yeah, I can absolutely categorically say that I should not be doing something like this when doing Gogglefrog. Shouldn't at all. Right, let's have a look. What have I done with this? There we go. I think that's one stitch that's sort of, you know, when they fray. Right, just continue, Angela. That's what you have to do. Just continue and you'll be fine. Oh.
Right, well, as we're nearly at time, shall we finish a few minutes early?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
And then you can crack on, and I've just finished my round, so I can then go and start some other stuff as well. So everybody have a lovely few days, and we'll see you on Wednesday evening, where we get to have our tipple and natter, if you choose to.
Yeah, and I may be in a service station somewhere or in my car. So, but hopefully I will be back on Wednesday.
Okay, folks, whatever you're up to, we'll see you soon.
Bye.